man. Hold on, let me get set up real quick. I'm still not really used to this YouTube live thing, so bear with me. um, I'm not honestly. What today is? Today June 15th, 2023. I think it's like 12 o'clock in Houston, Texas, and man, it's hot, bro. Hold on. If you live in Texas, especially Houston, to be Pacific, you already know, man. It's scorching out here, and it's only June, bro. It's not even July or August yet. But whatever. I'm going YouTube live right now, and I titled this. What I titled it? Venting session. I don't really have a plan or plot on what I'm gonna talk about specifically. I'm just gonna let loose. As far as I'm concerned, this is just a therapy session for me. The thing is, man, one thing that I definitely want to get into, shout out to Brody Hustle. What's going on, man? One thing I definitely want to get into for the person watching right now, Brody Hustle, and whoever else watches this video in the future, one thing that I come to realize, man, and again, I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that. My mind is scattered, so I'm just going to talk and go with that. Truth of the matter is, man, on one side, let me talk about this for a second. The truth of the matter is, I am completely and officially done with Christianity. I do not want anything to do with Christianity as of today. Now, let me provide some context. I grew up in a Christian household, went to a Christian church as a child, learned about God, learned about Jesus. You know, a lot of us have. And I've made some content about this, and I'm actually going to go deeper into it over the next few months or weeks or whatever. But I've come to the realization that Christianity is not for me. Now, understand something. If you are a Christian and you're watching this, if you are a Christian and that's the thing that helps you sleep at night, that's the thing that gives you hope, that gives you peace of mind or whatever, cool. Live your life. I wish you nothing but the best. And I mean that legitimately. I wish you nothing but the best. But me, personally, am done with Christianity. Because honestly, as of today, Christianity makes no sense to me. And I've come to the realization that the only reason why I even believe in Christianity is because I grew up in a household that was Christian. I could have easily been born into a Muslim household or an atheist household or a Buddhist household. But the truth of the matter is, Christianity, as of today, for me, makes no sense. Because one of the things is, I can't understand. And I've been thinking about it. I've made YouTube videos about it. You can go back and check. I don't understand this idea of this Christian God. Now, I'm not saying that I don't believe in God, because let's be real, God is really just a title. That's not the actual name of the creator. Do I believe that there's a creator out there who's more superior to us? I personally believe that. Again, that's just me. Do I believe that there is a source, a higher power who's more powerful than any human being on this planet? Yes. And the reason why I personally believe that is because I believe in spirituality. Spirituality existed long before religion did. I'm done with religion. I don't want anything to do with religion at all. I respect people's beliefs. Hey man, if that helps you sleep at night, God bless you. I wish you nothing but the best. If you Muslim, assalamu alaikum. If you Buddhist, even if you atheist, hey, whatever helps you sleep at night, whatever helps you get through the day, I completely understand. But I am 32, about to be 32 years old at the end of this month, June 29th. And it no longer makes sense for me personally to be a Christian or to even pursue the Christian faith because it makes no sense to me. I can't understand. And maybe if you're, I mean, I'm not the smartest person in the world. Excuse me. Maybe you can explain it better than me or explain it to me. Because for the life of me, I cannot understand how you have a God, right? Who's all loving, all powerful, all knowing, all this, all that. And when you die, if you don't worship him or give him praise or whatever the case may be, he's going to send you to eternal hell, fire, brimstone, and you're going to be tortured for the rest of eternity. You might live for only 20 or 30 years, and all the decisions that you made for that short amount of time is going to lead to you being tortured for the rest of time. That makes no sense to me. All of us are accountable for our own decisions and choices. Completely understand. This world has a lot of good. This world has a lot of evil. Completely understand. The thing that doesn't make sense to me in this deconstructing era that I'm in right now, it doesn't make sense to me that you have a God, right, who's all-knowing, who knows every single thing, even knows how many hairs you have on your head, knows every thought, knows everything, knows every single detail of this universe. This God created a being named Lucifer, who he knew, because again, if he's God, he has to know everything, right? This God still created this being named Lucifer, who he knew, because he's all-knowing, right? He knew Lucifer's going to rebel. Not only is he going to rebel, he's going to lead 1/3 of the angels, and he's going to convince them to rebel as well. Not only is he going to convince them to rebel against me, as if I'm speaking as if I'm God, but he's going, and I'm not saying I'm God, I'm just saying, but not only that, he's going to lead millions, possibly even billions of souls to this eternal hellfire where there's no escape, there's no getting out, there's no time. It's just eternal torment for the rest of eternity. But I'm going to create him anyway, knowing full well that he's going to tempt Adam and Eve in the garden and leave mad people, shout out to my New York people, mad people to hellfire and brimstone. But I'm going to create them anyway. But at the same time, tell them that they have free will. That's not free will. It's really not. Think about it. If I came to you, Brody Hustle, what's up? I know you personally, right? If I came to you and said, hey man, you love your wife, right? Like, I know your wife. You know her, right? You love her, you care about her. If you went to your wife and said, hey, if you don't love me, I mean, I love you and all that, but if you don't give me that same love in return, or worship me, or whatever words you want to use, I'm going to pour gasoline on you and set you on fire. If I told you that, you'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not love. Exactly. How is that love? You're telling me that if I don't love you or use my free will, again, I'm not the smartest person in the world, so please explain it to me, to all the Christians out there. But you're telling me if I don't worship you or love you or whatever the case may be, you're gonna burn me up forever, even though you're the one that created Lucifer, knowing he was gonna rebel anyway. To me personally, that sounds like a beef between you and Lucifer. How about y'all handle that beef and not include us human beings who have nothing to do with that dumbass shit? That's between y'all. God, if you hate Lucifer, Lucifer, you hate God, vice versa, y'all handle that beef. What the fuck that got to do with us? That makes no sense to me. That you're telling me that you have a Hindu man out there. Let's say a man who practices Hinduism, doesn't hurt anyone, loves people, has an amazing family, takes care of his people. He doesn't do anything. I'm not saying he's perfect, but what I'm saying is he's not out here causing harm to people. You're telling me that this Hindu man, this Buddhist man, or this atheist who doesn't believe in anything, he just takes care of his family, goes to work, lives a decent life, and goes home. He dies at, I don't know, 75 years old. You're telling me he's going to burn in hell because he didn't accept Jesus Christ as his personal Savior? I'm going to be honest with you. If that's the God that is over the universe, that's not a God I want anything to do with anymore. Because that's stupid as fuck. That is dumb. Again, and I've said this before, maybe not here, but I've said it personally to people that I know. We will never understand everything about how this world works or how the universe works. But you're telling me that you have a God who is all-knowing, created billions and billions, probably even more than that, of souls, and he knew for a fact that many of these people will not give me the acknowledgement that I want. Because I'm gonna be honest, yo, you sound like a fucking narcissist. Because you created these people who don't love you back or who don't worship you, you're gonna burn them up. Think about it. If you're a black man or woman, hold on, what Brody Hustle said? It's crazy because there's so much reference to Egypt in the Bible. You're telling me some of the most meticulous record keepers have no record of any. My point exactly. And I'm glad you mentioned Egypt. Because I've been thinking about us as black people in general. I'm thinking, wait a minute. If you read the Old Testament, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't read the entire Old Testament, but I think I've read enough to know that you have a God, all loving, all merciful, all this and that, who in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 to be specifically, is telling the children of Israel, the Israelites, if y'all, and again, I'm paraphrasing, but go read Deuteronomy 28, because that's the chapter of the Bible a lot of people reference. You're telling me this all-loving God is going to look at these people who were in the wilderness for 40 years, who were rebellious towards his laws and didn't keep his commandments, such and such. He knows that they're going to rebel, because again, he's all-knowing. Don't tell me God doesn't know, because if God doesn't even know the weather today, he can't be God, because that God has to know every outcome and know exactly what you're going to do. He knew exactly what the Israelites were going to do. He knew exactly what the Hebrew Israelites, whatever you want to say, were going to do. Yet he still, him personally said, I'm going to take you out of Egypt and send you into another form of Egypt, aka America, enslaved. Your children are going to be slaves, whatever the case may be, but I love you. What type of bullshit is that? But I'm supposed to believe in this God and say, oh, but this God loves me. No, that sounds like manipulation to me. Because if I came and told you and I said, hey, man, you know, I know a guy personally. And let's say we're just talking, having a great conversation. Let's say, I say, you know what, man? You know, I know a dude who, man, he got 3 kids, man. And he appeared to be a good guy. You know, he loved his kids and all that. He got 3 kids. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he had 2 daughters and 1 son. Love his kids. But I talked to one of his kids one day. Let's say they grew up to be adults. And I say, man, you know, how was your dad? You know, how was he in your personal life? And they say, yeah, man, you know, he was cool. But when I was young, he told me, if you don't love me, or if you don't obey by my laws or rules in this house, I'm going to basically torture you. I'm going to beat your ass. I am going to take a fucking torch and set this whole fucking house on fire and watch you burn alive. You will say, damn, that's fucked up, right? I will say, man, his name was God. His name was Yahuwah or Yahweh. Then you'll say, nah, but God has a plan. It all comes together. No, dog. That sounds like manipulation to me. That sounds like I really don't love you. If anything, I fear you more than I love you. That's not love. I don't know everything about love. Again, I'm not the smartest person in the world. So if you watch this 6 months from now, 2 months from now, or 2 weeks from now, let me know. I'm open to being wrong. But this shit makes no fucking sense to me. You are God. You know everything. And yet you still created this being named Lucifer, who you knew was going to rebel and lead mad people to hell, yet you created them anyway because you love them, right? Mad people in concentration camps, the Jewish people, black people enslaved, all this. Now understand, let me say this, because this is important. I am not saying that because you have an all-loving God that this world is not capable of evil. I get it. The world is going to be evil no matter what, because you got billions of people, or people who run the world, who exercise their power, and because of that we have greed, homelessness, violence. I get it. I'm not saying the world is supposed to be perfect and a big ass fairy tale and we all supposed to just get along and love each other. I get it. It's going because I believe in duality. You can't have good without evil. You can't have sun without darkness. You can't have sun without the moon. You can't have light without darkness. You can't have male without female. You can have good without evil. That's just the way the world is. I completely understand that. That's just the balance of life. That's the yin yang. Good, bad, male, female, light, dark. That's just polarity, duality, whatever. But you're telling me that this God, who's all knowing, so good, all merciful, still created us knowing that many of us were going to go to hellfire and brimstone because we didn't acknowledge him? What the fuck? Are you Roman Reigns or something? Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. You know what I mean? Like, yo, if you don't acknowledge me, if you don't give me praise, I'ma send you to this hellfire. Bro, that sounds like fucking manipulation to me. That's not cool, bro. The hustle. You the only one in here. Let me know. Type a comment. And somebody. Am I tripping? Because again, I'm open to being wrong. I legitimately am. Because I'm not an atheist. If you're an atheist, cool. I'm not here to debate. Because again, I personally believe that there is a creator. I don't believe, me personally, if you believe this, cool. I don't believe in evolution. Personally, as of today, again, I could be wrong. I don't believe we just evolved from monkeys and all. Hey, how y'all doing? Shout out to them. I just don't personally believe that. Again, that's just, I've been thinking about a lot of stuff, so I'm all over the place right now. But what I do know is that, so today, Christianity doesn't make fucking sense to me. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense to me, man. It feels stupid to me. Another person just came here, so I got two people in the live. Shout out to you. I don't know who you are, but shout out to you. Again, I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube live. I don't do this much. I'm just venting. This is therapy session. All I'm saying is Christianity, for me as of today, June 15th, 2023, it makes no sense. Brother Hustle, they say that God is the source of morality, but the God in the Bible consistently does immoral things, and we label it God's will. Exactly. That's the lazy argument. Well, that's just God's will. We can't question God because that's just God. Like, no. How can God give me a brain that is capable of thinking and asking questions, but then you tell me I shouldn't question God? What the fuck type of shit is that? No, I am going to question God. And again, I'm not saying that I'm perfect or I know everything. Of course not. I don't know shit. But what I do know is Christianity ain't for me no more, man. It makes no sense to me. It's amazing to me how I see people on like social media, Christians, who will talk down on atheists and say, "Oh, you're an atheist, you don't believe in God, or you're a Muslim, or you stupid. If you don't believe in my God, you believe in Allah, you believe in Buddha, or you believe in Krishna, or whatever." I'm just freestyling. But if you don't believe in the God I believe in, one day every knee shall bow, you're gonna burn in hell. Bro, y'all telling children that. Y'all are, some of y'all, and I'm not saying all Christians. Understand, I'm not saying all Christians. So don't think that I'm saying every Christian out there is on some bullshit. No, I believe that there are a lot of great Christians out there. I've personally seen it, who are nice people, who are caring. They believe in God. They believe in Jesus. That's what helped. That's what helped them. That's what saved them for whatever lifestyle they was in. Cool. I'm not here to debate you. You live your life. But you have a lot of you Christians, a lot of Christians out there who are so on this superior complex that if you don't believe in the God I believe in, you're gonna burn in hell. So you're telling me the Hindu man, the Jewish or the Hindu man, the Buddhist man, the gay man, the gay woman who did everything right, but the only thing is they chose to love the same sex, they're gonna burn in hellfire. But you're telling me that fucking Jeffrey Dahmer or whoever can do the bullshit he did, repent for his sins, and go to fucking heaven? That's not a heaven I want to be a part of then, if that's the case. That sounds idiotic to me. And excuse the noise in the background again. I'm on the balcony. It's Houston, Texas. Big ass trucks driving by. But it makes no sense. I've come to the realization, I'm like, yo, I really think I only believe in Christianity because I was born in a Christian household. This shit makes no fucking sense to me. It doesn't. Love me or else. Now, to the person who's watching this, Brody Hustle, shout out to you. And I don't know the other person. Let me see if I can. I don't know who else is. I got two people in this live, but shout out to you. I don't know who you are. Let's say you go to your significant other. I said this earlier. And you say, man, I love you. If you stop loving me today, I'm going to set this whole fucking house on fire. I'm pretty sure that person would look at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? If I were to tell you that, that would sound like domestic violence. That would sound like a fucking narcissist. But you have a jealous God who says, if you don't love me, if you don't worship me, if you don't worship my son, Jesus Christ, and follow him because he's the only way, the truth, the life. No one comes to the Father except through him. So if you don't follow him, you're going to burn in hellfire. Even though, God, you're the one who created Lucifer in the first place thousands of years ago, knowing that he was going to rebel and lead plenty of people to hell. That's a beef between y'all, but we got to suffer because of a beef between y'all, because of your fuck up. No, God. To me personally, it's going to be controversial, and I'm going to say it anyway. I might change my mind. Hold on. Trucks driving by. I might change my mind a week from now, maybe 2 months from now, maybe on my deathbed, like Jeffrey Dahmer, I'll change my mind. Who knows? You know, or when I, you know, whatever. But you're telling me that this guy's going to create us anyway, knowing that plenty of us are going to experience hellfire torment, but he loves us anyway? That sounds like manipulation to me, man. That don't sound smart to me. That actually sounds very narcissistic. And I hate using that word narcissistic because a lot of people, I think, overuse that word today. Like woke. Everyone is woke. Everyone's a narcissist. Like, no. But this God that y'all talking about, that I believed in all my life, about to be 32 years old, this Christian God, sound like a fucking narcissist. Yo, love me. I'm going to give you the free will, even though I already know you're going to rebel. Love me or else. I don't want nothing to do with that. That sounds idiotic to me. Hold on, we're Brody Hustle. Shout out to you. You said an abusive relationship. That's why fate is essentially Stockholm Syndrome. People know it's not right, but they're too scared to leave. Exactly. I saw something today, ironically, and it was on TikTok, but this YouTube channel, I think, is the Atheist Experience, right? To me, it's a dope YouTube channel because I like hearing from the other point of view. I forgot what the man said. I can't remember. If I find it later, I'll reference it in the next video. But essentially, he was saying that, you know, because you know, people call into the show. You have two atheists, they don't believe in God, and they go back and forth with people who call in, who, you know, are Christians. And you know, and again, I'm just freestyling. But you know, this Christian man had basically called and say, you know, he was talking about faith, and you know, but you gotta have faith and faith and faith. But essentially, they were like, well, What if I have faith in Allah? What if I have faith in Krishna? What if I have faith? You do understand that there are thousands of gods, right? Because again, God is just a title, not the actual name of the creator. God is a title. What if I have faith? Again, faith. But what if I have faith in Allah? What if I have faith in Buddha? Fuck everything. What if I just have faith in myself and say, yo, I'm going to figure it out. And I'm going to live my life the best I can. I'm going to try my best to treat everyone with respect, love everyone the best I can. I wish everyone well. I don't care if you're black, white. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're transgender. I don't care if you're non-binary. I don't care. You treat people with respect. You do the best you can. And when you pass away, we're going to see what happens. What if I have faith in that type of God instead of your God? You're telling me I'm going to burn in hell? Yet you're going to turn around also and say that you're more moral than this man or woman because they don't believe what you believe? That is fucking insanity to me, man. Especially as someone who is African American, black. You're telling me I have to believe in a God who sent my people, our people, into captivity because they rebelled for 40 fucking years or whatever? But you created them knowing that one day this man's child, grandchild, great-grandchild was going to be fed to fucking alligators or put in a zoo for entertainment for Caucasian people, but you created them anyway? That sounds fucking insane to me. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't know everything. I'm open to being wrong. So if you watch this later on and you say, man, that's wrong, let me give you some context. Great. I'm open to being wrong. But as of today, sorry for the noise in the background. It's YouTube Live. Forgive me. June 15, 2023. You telling me that makes sense? That sounds like you're more afraid of God than you love God. It sounds to me like many of us, and I'm just saying us, have feared God more than we loved him. I shouldn't fear you more than I love you. I shouldn't fear the possibility of hellfire and brimstone because I chose not to fucking love you and give you some acknowledgement. You sound like a fucking narcissist to me. You sound like a narcissist. You sound like someone who just needs attention. Yet you created me. You could have dealt with Lucifer. Because that's another thing. I saw YouTube, not YouTube. I was on Instagram scrolling. I'm not going to say who this person was, but I followed them on Instagram. I'm actually about to unfollow them. But they posted some dumbass shit that was like, well, you know, I think it was, the context is, there's a church. And I guess that they had an LGBTQ preacher there, a gay preacher, someone they was just preaching about LGBTQ. And I guess a bolt of lightning or something happened that caused the church to be set on fire. And this Christian Instagrammer, now I followed, I'm about to actually unfollow after this, said something like, oh, well, you know, that's because they was in there preaching that LGBTQ stuff. So that God struck them down. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. You telling me this God, listen to me. You telling me this God struck down this church because you had a gay preacher or LGBTQ, whatever, something was going on in that, right? God struck this church down. According to you, because God gonna strike you down. God is the boogeyman. You gonna do what I say? Strike down the people that run this fucking world. Millions of fucking homeless people, millions of fucking starving children all over the world. Fuck that. You got children being raped. You got, and I hate, excuse me for saying that word. I know that's a trigger word. You got children who are being molested, sexually violated in the church, mind you. You got children being abused, mentally abused, physically abused, psychologically being abused. You got people who run this whole fucking unit, this whole operation, this whole world, starving the entire world of resources, the whole nine. But I'm gonna go, guys, sound like you got your priorities sucked up. Go take care of them first. You have a being named Satan who you knew was going to rebel and cause all this fucking chaos in the world, yet you created him anyway. Nah, God, that sounds like your fault. You need to go handle that. How about you go handle Satan yourself? Why do I have to be engaged in a warfare I have fucking nothing to do with? I have nothing to do with the beef between you and Satan, Lucifer, devil, whatever the fuck name you want to call him. That's between you and him. Why should we suffer because of your fuck up? You the creator. You knew this was going to happen, yet you did it anyway. But you have free will. You love us. Nah, man. Again, I'm just venting. Brody Hustle, what you said? There are studies that show that the Bible is based off Greek literature. I could be fucking that word up. Forgive me. Fiction. So what does that tell you? And that's the other thing I'm saying. I don't even believe the Bible is perfect. You're not going to tell me that thousands of years that this one book is perfect. It's been translated differently. Things have been taken out of the Bible context. But you're telling me if I don't follow this word, I'm going to burn in hell for the rest of my fucking life? That this fire is more excruciating than this Houston fucking heat? Shout out to my people in Houston, but you know how Houston is. You're telling me that I'm going to burn forever? Nah. Don't make sense to me. I'm sorry, I don't want anything to do with that. Again, I'm just venting. If you can relate to that, cool. Maybe you can't. Maybe you be like, man, what the fuck this dude talking about? It might be you. Cool. I'm just telling you what I think as of today. Who knows? I might change my mind in a year or two, or maybe in a few weeks. Who knows? But as of today, nah. Don't make sense to me, man. Christianity, for me, makes no sense at all, dog. It's dumb as fuck. But if that's the thing that helps you, hey, man, I wish you well. And I hope, and I'm pretty sure I done said some offensive things if you're a Christian. And maybe you can help me understand. I don't know everything. But some of this, man, it don't make sense to me. It just doesn't. And again, like I said earlier, there are some things about this world, this universe, that many of us would never understand. Bro, we will never understand everything about how this world works. I completely understand that. But when you start talking about this Christian God, for me personally, I don't want anything to do with that God. I'm not saying I don't believe in God. Again, God is just a title. I believe that there's a creator. I believe in a most high. I believe that there's an entity, me personally, that exists outside of space and time. But do I believe that if you're a Hindu, or if you're an atheist, or if you're gay, or transgender, or if you're agnostic, or whatever the case may be, because there's so many beliefs, that you're gonna burn in hellfire? Yo, man, I personally can't get with that anymore. That don't make sense to me. I wish you well. I'm gonna go ahead and end this YouTube live. Shout out to everyone who tuned in. Shout out to Brody Hustle. Shout out to everyone who's gonna watch this video whenever you watch it. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'm just talking, maybe I offended some people. And again, let me know. I don't know everything. I'm open to being wrong. But as of June 15, 2023, I don't want anything to do with Christianity. That's just me. I wish you well. I wish you prosperity, growth, and love and understanding. My name is Ken Talk. I'm just sharing my thoughts.